YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here in Battlefleet Gothic Armada. Just gonna give you a preview of the beta version, which I guess the PR company that Games Workshop is working with gave me access to this. Pretty exciting. It is a beta, so it is still a work in progress. And what I have access right now to is multiplayer and solo skirmish. I'm not even gonna attempt multiplayer because I'm going to get completely destroyed. We're going to try a solo skirmish. I've never even attempted multiplayer yet. This game is a very deep space strategy game. Now, it's not like Homeworld where you can move in 3 dimensions, but when I say deep, I mean that each ship has very specific skills, abilities, upgrades, skill shots, and all kinds of different stuff that they can take. And there's going to be 4 factions in the game. This is based off of the tabletop Warhammer 40K universe. So that's where this whole thing comes from. You've got the Imperial Navy, Chaos, Orc Pirates, and Eldar Corsairs. Orc Pirates and Eldar Corsairs are not available in the beta, just Imperial Navy and Chaos. We're going to play as the Imperial Navy, and I do not have a general yet, so we're going to get started. Just to show you. And if you all want to see more of this, I can show it to you. I've played a little bit more of this on my laptop. This is being filmed on my desktop, though, so that hopefully we get just kind of some better footage in terms of graphics and microphone quality and all that kind of stuff. Recording this on my laptop is a little bit trickier. I have the sound down pretty low, and now I'm wondering if it's too low because it was really hard to get good sound balance on my it was hard to get good sound balance on my laptop, but should be okay here. I don't want the sound to be too loud anyway because I want you all to see it. But the sound and the music is great. The voice acting is very good in the game. Very nice immersion. Just overall, very nice game. Let me just kind of show you, like, for instance, we can add a light cruiser. There's Dauntless light cruisers. And I'm trying to figure out, honestly, the big difference between these two ships. You have a Dauntless Mark II and a Dauntless. Let's see. So they've got light double macro turrets, light macro battery, and a heavy prow lance on the Dauntless. The Dauntless Mark II, okay, does the prow torpedo launcher, otherwise the same loadout and strengths and stuff. So it's the choice between a torpedo launcher and a lance on the prow. And since you have the macro turrets, I'd probably just go ahead and go with the one that has the torpedo launcher. The torpedo launcher is kind of like a long-range weapon, and that's the only long-range, really, that the Imperial Navy has. Well, until you get to, I think, a Nova cannon, which is also a very good weapon. But let me just kind of show you what we have. So it said we have a light double macro turret. They're highlighted in green right up there on top of the ship. You can see that. So basically, these turrets can cover, a 270-degree field of fire. But then you've got batteries, kind of like broadsides on an old ship of the line. And the Imperial Navy, of course, theirs is very Gothic themed, so it's going to be kind of like a Gothic cathedral floating in outer space. Very interesting ship design. The prow kind of looks like a trireme, and you can actually run into your own ships and into enemy ships, so ramming actually plays a bit of a deal here. But let me just show you. So this shows you the stats of your ship and how much how many points it costs to take it to battle. This is your admiral's rank, and you can increase your admiral's rank. And what's kind of cool is when you're just doing a solo skirmish versus the AI. Now, this is something that I wish that, like, Homeworld Deserts of Karak would have done. You can increase the level of your admiral and bring other units and stuff like that as you just play against the AI. You can do the same thing in multiplayer. You can use the points you earn in battle, this renown, and you can upgrade different things on your ship, like the engine, the generator, the deck, the hull, the weaponry. There's skills that you can get for your ship, too. So, see, like, right now we can pick a skill. I'm thinking I'm going to pick the plasma bomb. And we'll fit this skill. See, it uses a little bit of my renown points to do that. There's favors that you can get that bring, like, different benefits to your fleet. And you can also upgrade your crew. So you can put upgrades on them and stuff. So a very, very neat system that you have here. Let's get a few ships. We've got the Dauntless Mark II. Let's grab one standard Dauntless that has the prow lance, just so that we have a little bit of different potential here. And let's go ahead and give them an upgrade. The stasis bomb. When it explodes, it slows everything down in the effect area. That could be handy. Auger Disruptor. Disruption Bomb can be used. Teleported within longer. When it explodes, it depletes the shields. Now, that could be good if we throw this in on this ship and then try and drop the Plasma Bomb after that once the shields of an enemy ship have been disrupted. So I might try that. So again, I'm going to try and think through some of that. Now, there's escort ships that you don't have to necessarily put in. You can just kind of fill them in. These are just smaller, like, destroyer-class ships to support your cruisers. And eventually you can unlock really big ships like battle cruisers and such. Let's go to a battle, though, and see what we get. There's different types of missions. And as your admiral ranks up, you get more points available to you in the battles that you go into. So see, this fleet points goes up, and it allows you to pick more ships. So as you go up, it becomes more difficult because you have more ships. Now we're going to be playing against another Imperium fleet here, and we are the attacker. So I do want to probably... So what we could do is we could bring like one Dauntless and several light ships, or we can bring 2 Dauntless and, you know, only maybe 1 light ship. And it looks like that's going to be my option here. The Firestorm frigate has a prow lance, which can be nice. But this smaller frigate here just has another macro turret and some torpedoes, which can be handy as well. I want to say this sword frigate just is just extra macro turrets. I think it's a light double macro, and that might be handy because, yeah, the light double macro turret. I mean, you get torpedoes on the other one, but I don't think you only get the 1 macro turret, and this one just has 2 light macros, which will be a little bit easier for me to micromanage in this battle because the macro turrets kind of are like a self-targeting turret on top of the ship. Okay, let's go ahead and ready up here and get into a battle. Alright, so they do a cool little cutscene each time you go into battle. The graphics for like the backgrounds and stuff are pretty epic. They look good. This is the ship deployment screen. You can auto-deploy if you want. But basically this is the battlefield. The controls are pretty easy to get your hands on. You use the middle mouse wheel, like you can click and drag to kind of change, like pan the camera around in different directions and tilt it. And then WASD does your camera controls, left click, right click, all very similar. Like I've never played a Games Workshop game before, and it's just the controls are very easy to pick up. What's tricky is all the micromanagement that you have to do in order to be successful. There can be asteroids and stuff on the map that you can try and use for cover, and then there's gas clouds and other stuff that you can literally hide your ships in the gas cloud to try and get stealth advantages, and there's stealth traits and stuff that you can do as well. So it becomes pretty handy. Let's go ahead and hit the deployment phase. One of my ships was already spotted by an enemy ship. And if we look back here, I can see 3 little dots right now representing enemy ships way back here in the distance. There is an ability you can get a probe. And trying to think of the best way to handle this. Maybe let's kind of come up with this asteroid field.
Activating tactical cogitators.
Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. So I want to make sure that the voices aren't too loud too, because that was pretty loud. Let's turn that down a bit. There we go. It was pretty loud in my ears. I don't know if it'll be loud for you, and I apologize if maybe the sound's a bit too quiet. I can turn it up in a future showing of this. I do want to try and show you all several battles. This is a mine. There's different abilities that your ships have. Let me try and just describe that real quick. So each ship has like this little energy meter here. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but you can use that energy to do a high energy turn, or you can go into like a high speed all ahead full. It only lasts for so long, and then it has to recharge. Here's all your special abilities. You can use one of these 4. And you can also use one of these 2. These are like boarding abilities and stuff where you can either teleport people over or actually send little boarding pods, and there's different benefits to both. There's my torpedo launcher. You can launch torpedoes from very long range, and that's probably what I want to do. We're fighting against other Imperium ships, so we can expect a fairly close matchup in terms of strength. Chaos ships, which hopefully I'll get to show you some of those soon too. Chaos ships are kind of like a longer range, but weaker armor type opponent. Let's take a look and go ahead and maybe launch some torpedoes. We've got enemies that'll be coming up from the other side. Let's just kind of hold position where we're at here, and when the enemies come around the side of this asteroid field, maybe we can use it as a nice choke point to hit them with some torpedoes.
Yes, Admiral.
Yeah, the AI surely is going to navigate around the asteroids. If they don't, it's going to be a mistake.
Setting course.
Okay, they fired torpedoes at me, so I'm going to try and avoid those torpedoes.
Yes, Admiral.
And let's try and fire some torpedoes this direction. This ship doesn't have torpedoes, my bad.
Awaiting orders.
That was the one that had the prow lance. So this small ship here is going to get overwhelmed by the 2 Dauntless frigates. I'm trying to remember the controls. There is one that turns off the HUD. Let's go look at that real quick just to remind myself so that I can... let's see, general, hide graphic, okay, F10. Just wanted to make sure I remember that, just to kind of show you all the graphics on the game. They're pretty nice. I mean, the graphics are not the most amazing thing I've ever seen, but they're pretty good. And obviously the enemy ship here just blundered too far ahead of its support. They will certainly die to the macro turrets on my ship. Now, I'm going to want to go ahead and let's take this disruption bomb and see if we can disrupt the shields on the ship over here. Now right there, they just did kind of a boarding maneuver on me. Wow, that small ship is still alive. I'm surprised it made it that far. So the disruption bomb hit, and that's going to hurt their shields, so now I'm going to drop a plasma bomb up in front of them, so you can see you can teleport the plasma bomb in. It is a timed effect, and now with their shields low, I'm hoping that plasma bomb will do some good damage. And then we'll follow up with this light ship. Yeah, plasma bomb did some pretty good damage. Oh, we're going to take a terrible torpedo volley there, though, because I was just sitting on my rump.
Awaiting orders.
I'm going to try and engage this ship with a little bit of everything. Looks like they have a Dauntless with a Prow Lance. We've done some pretty good damage over here to the ship. We got its shields down. Now, of course, it's doing some pretty heavy damage to me as well. I'm going to try and close the engagement range. And I might try my own lightning strikes and stuff here on the enemy. So we were successful there with our lightning strike, which is like a quick boarding. We destroyed a weapon. So that's always a good thing to remember to use. What is this? I'm trying to remember. It's a warp jump. We don't want to do that because that would be fleeing the battlefield, basically. If we can get in range. I'm going to try another lightning strike here. We failed, though, that time. Let's take our small ship and get away from this combat with the two heavier ones. So I'm going to use their higher speed here. And I need to get my ships rearranged. I'm doing a pretty poor job, but I mean, at least my macro cannons have a pretty good line of fire here. But we're kind of trading fire pretty evenly with the enemy. I've taken a little bit of hull damage on a couple of these ships. Well, we got to watch those torpedoes. That was a pretty good shot by the AI, so I'm going to dodge those torpedoes. I could have used a high-speed turn, but we made it anyway. We're doing very nice damage over here on this one, but I kind of need to support my small ship as well. Let's do an emergency repair. Let's use some of my other targeted abilities. Lock on. I think special orders lock on. Use your ship to focus fire. So let's use the lock on target. The AI is potentially going to get a little bit. They're going to get a little bit.
Execute high energy turn.
I'm going to do a high energy turn here too and try and come around and get back here so we can help out in this fight. Let's get my light ship over this direction as well. You can see that I'm kind of recharging the plasma here, or whatever it is that gives me that. Let's go full speed ahead. I want to try and single out this AI ship over here where we're kind of having a little engagement. I'm going to put a disruption bomb out here in front of him. Try and drop his shields a little. And if I can get close enough, I'll try and put another plasma bomb on him. Here we can now go into high speed and kind of maybe get up on the back of the ship. So the disruption bomb was a success, so I don't think I'm in range with the plasma bomb. Not quite. Let's resume. Yeah, they're getting some good hits on me. I can't lightning strike at this point, and I'm not in range to do a boarding action. Whoops, sorry. But let's see, they're going to end up stuck against an asteroid field here, and I'm going to try and take my guys around the back of the asteroid, see if we can get their shields back up. The AI is doing okay in this fight. That was a pretty good torpedo shot too, and I don't have any high energy turn. We need to use my own torpedoes. They just had a weapon destroyed on their ship too, so that's good. Let's bring it around and see if we can get a torpedo shot on the enemy. Ooh, I think I hit an asteroid. Let's do emergency repairs, see if we can keep that ship alive a little bit longer. But their ship, again, taking fire here. I'm going to try and use my small ship and just kind of stay behind. Let's take a torpedo shot if we can. I don't know if we'll get a hit, but I'll put some torpedoes out.
Understood.
If we use our high speed, we might be able to get them with the torpedoes a little easier.
Changing course.
I'm going to change the course, drop the high speed. I think our torpedoes are going to connect here. Yes! So I got a nice connection with the torpedoes. But I'm about to get torpedoed over here. High speed, high speed. There we go. I'm going to just barely make it away from those torpedoes.
Setting course.
Let's get over here. They did a lightning strike on me. I'm just going to try and get away over here. I do have a plasma... No, my plasma bomb's not ready. And my disruption bomb is destroyed, I think, or I've used as many as I can. Let's just high energy turn and get away from this guy.
At your command. Orders received.
I may have lost my engines or something over here, so it's going to be a very tight battle. It's a lot tighter than I want. I lost a weapon right there, so that's not good. Seems like I'm struggling with my shields.
Reloading.
I'm going to try and go into high reload here. See if I can just get better reload on my macro cannons. Let's also try and get a plasma bomb out here in a good spot. I think we'll tag them pretty good with that plasma bomb.
Yes, Admiral.
Let's get away with the lighter ship.
At your command.
Yeah, plasma bomb destroyed one of their turrets, did very nice damage there.
Ready.
Definitely have to remember to use that plasma bomb
Orders
ability.
received.
I'm out of torpedoes. Let's just see if our macro turrets can help us finish this.
Awaiting
I think my shield
orders.
generator's gone on this ship. We have a fire on board. That's not good. Let's do some
Initiate
emergency repairs.
Setting course.
Let's see, what do I have left? I've got my macro batteries are left, and I've lost one macro turret. The macro batteries are going to be more damaging, so it's good that I haven't lost them.
Ship ready.
Let's see, can we still lightning strike? We can. Let's see if we can accomplish anything with the lightning strike. Good, lightning strike success. We got a fire started on board their ship. My shields are down over here, though.
Understood. Your orders.
I think they're trying to go to warp.
We are the Imperial.
And I know you can target, like, yeah, they went to warp. Bunch of chickens.
At your
So
command.
their captain fled there.
Course plotted.
So let's just see if we can deal with their one last remaining ship. I know you can actually target enemy systems. So focus on the deck, focus on engines. Let's focus on engines so that the we don't let this ship get away from us. And this ship, I just want to kind of keep getting away from the enemy. What do they have? They still have macro batteries, though. Their shields can't recharge.
Cruising speed set.
We kind of need to bring our ship about here.
Ship
And I want to
ready.
just get away here, so let's do that. And let's just kind of bring our macro batteries to bear on the enemy ship. We do have the disruption bomb. They're at high speed, though, right now, so using the disruption bomb is going to be questionable.
Your orders.
Alright, now we should be able to drop the disruption bomb and hurt their shields pretty bad. Let's turn around and engage with this other ship.
Helm coordinates.
This ship
acknowledged.
is in really bad shape, but we'll make it. The disruption bomb is going to hit, and it did hurt their shields pretty badly.
Target
I'm going to try and keep engaging with the macro batteries here, since I have both of them.
At your command.
Do what damage we can, and now we should be able to focus fire.
Changing course.
Let's try and get within range with this ship, and I'll try and plasma bomb these guys again. We're out of torpedoes, so that's going to be our only choice.
Engines hot.
Yeah, I'm not really the best at this game, obviously. It requires a lot of micromanagement, which is not always my strong point.
Acknowledged.
And knowing kind of the different angles of attack that your ships benefit
At your
from.
command.
So like this ship can be set to broadside engage, and that's what we want. Like all of our ships are set to broadside engage.
Awaiting
The one with the
orders.
prow lance, though, if it has it still, heavy prow lance. Yeah, the heavy prow lance has been destroyed, though. We could have set it to frontally engage. Let's put a plasma bomb down on these
At
guys
your command.
and try and keep our macro battery in line.
Away.
Let's get the smaller ship behind them.
Your orders.
Let's initiate some repairs. And let's go into a reload so that we can hopefully more rapidly reload. I think we've kind of got the enemy ship destroyed here. Are they? I think, or they're trying to go to warp now too. They're gonna escape, so the AI ships fled here, which is unfortunate that I wasn't able to destroy them. I wonder if it's gonna say it was, yeah, it's victorious. I was wondering if it was gonna give me a defeat since they escaped rather than me killing them, but it looks like it's gonna give us a victory. Tell me what y'all think of the game. It's actually really fun. I'll try and bring you some more footage and show you the chaos ships as well, just so you all get a feel for them. So you can see we earned renown points, and then we're working towards increasing our admiral rank. As you increase your admiral rank, you unlock slots for ships of the line, and you're able to get bigger, better ships. So you can unlock cruisers and battle cruisers and battleships and all that kind of stuff. So lots of fun stuff, and you can of course keep upgrading the ships. You can see there's a crew upgrade, other upgrades. But the game's very deep, very fun. I'm not exactly sure when this one comes out, but it's in development by Games Workshop. Go check out the links in the description. I'll have a link to their website, so to see the official website. But very cool game if you like strategy games, especially space setting, or if you're a Warhammer fan, then this may be something you want to check out. So HeirofCarthage signing out.